today's lecture, we are going to study about transistor characteristics, a shortcut method to remember about all the three different configuration and its characteristics. Here, we are just comparing three different configuration. For all the three different configurations, we'll be checking its input side, output side, just a shortcut method, how to remember all the three configuration with its input, output sides, input, output current, input, output voltage, and how to draw its input, output characteristics graph. So here we are going to study about three different configuration, that is common base configuration, common collector configuration, and common emitter configuration. What we are going to do over here is we are making a simple table with the help of which we can draw the characteristics and understand how to draw its input and output characteristics. This is just a shortcut method, a method to remember the difference between all the three different configurations. Here I'll be showing you how to remember which side is input side, output side, what is input current, input voltage, output voltage for all the three different configurations. See, starting with all the three configurations, the first step is we are writing over here is, just a second. Okay, so the first thing is what we are doing is we are writing all the three terminals which we are having, that is emitter, base, and collector. Okay, now as per which common terminal is over here, right? We have to write that first terminal in our input and output side. So if the first one, that is common base configuration, right? The common terminal is base. That means we'll be having B, that is base, in both my input and output side. Similarly, common emitter में क्या होगा? Your emitter will be common in both the side. And in common collector, your collector will be common in both your input and output side. Now, to decide what we'll be having over here, that is in input side, what we'll be having, that is, so if it is a common base configuration, what we are doing is we are just not considering this B. So the remaining two terminals, that is E and C. So in most of the cases, your C will be coming in the output side. So here you have to write E, that is for input side, and the second terminal, that is C, for the output side. If I am having E emitter as a common, the remaining two terminals are your base and collector. Again, C will be your output side and B, that will be your input side. Now, if I'm having a common collector configuration, your base will be considered as the input side and your emitter will be considered at the output side. So the first method is clear. What we are doing is the one which is common terminal, we have to first write that value in all the three configurations. Then we just have to decide which will be your input and output. Now, if I want to find input current, right? So what we have to do is we just have to go to the input side and we have to check this value, right? जो कॉमन है वो हम कंसिडर नहीं करेंगे, उसके साथ में कौन सा अल्फाबेट है वो कंसिडर करेंगे. So here E and B, right? But B base, that is common. So your input current will be IE. Similarly, here I want to find input current. So I will be writing I, and what is my first character? That is B. So my input current will be IB. Again here I, here input value is B. So here my input current will be IB. Now to find output current, what I am doing is go to the output side, check the first character over here, that is C. So you have to write over here, that is IC. Again here C is over here, so I have to write IC, and here I have to write IE. Is it clear how to find input current and output current? The next step is I want to find input voltage and output voltage. Now to find input voltage, what we have to do is just write V over here and then go to your input side. Whatever you have written over here, just place the value over here. This is my input voltage, that is EB. So VEB, that is my input voltage for common base. Similarly, for common emitter, write V, and what I have written is BE. So write B and E over here. Similarly, for common collector, it will be VBC. Now, for output voltage, again write V as it is. Go to your output side. Whatever value you have written over here, that is CB. So just write C and B over here. So for here, we'll be having VCE, and for here, we'll be having VEC. Now, if you know all these parameters, then you can easily find its input-output characteristics graph. We know that input characteristic graph, it is a graph of your input current versus input voltage when we are keeping our output voltage constant. So if it is a common base configuration, my input graph will be between, what is my input current? IE. So here I will be having IE. What is my input voltage? That is VEB. And for output voltage, what is my output voltage? That is VCB. That this VCB will be constant. Similarly, if I want to draw my output characteristic graph, so it is a graph between your output current versus output voltage when you are keeping your input current constant. So here, what is my output current? That is IC. What is my output voltage? That is VCB. And what is the constant value? That is IE. So here IE will be constant. Similarly, for all the three configuration, you can easily find the input-output characteristics graph. If you know all these 7 parameters, you can easily understand all the 3 different configurations. The only thing over here is how to remember all this value, which I have shown you the shortcut method or the way you can remember all this value. I am again repeating all the things just to make it clear for you. The first step is you have to write all the 3 parameters over here. Then if I am writing for common base, जो भी आपका common है, first write that value over here, right? So base is common, so I have written BB. Emitter is common, I have been writing E over here. Collector is common, I'll be writing C, right? Remember that जो भी common है वो आपका second character होगा. First character आपको यहाँ पे place करना है. अब common base है तो हमारे पास 2 value है, that is E and C. So out of which E will be my input and C will be my output. For common emitter, B will be my input, C will be my output. For common collector, base will be my input, emitter will be my output, right? So यहाँ पे हमारा input output side decide हो गया है. Now what we have to do is we have to find input current. So input current find करने के लिए क्या करेंगे? We'll be going to our input side. Input side में जो ये first character आपने लिखा है, that will be your input current. So here IE, here I am having IB, again here I am having IB. For output side, for output current, go to output side, check your first character, that is C. So my output current will be IC, IC and IE. Is it clear? Now to write input voltage, first write V as it is. Whatever you have written in the input side will be your input voltage, that is VEB. This will be VBE and this will be VBC. Similarly, do for the output voltage, write V as it is, go to your output side, check the value and write over here. So this will be VCB, VCE and this will be VEC. Okay, now To find input output characteristics, what we have to do is for input value, you have to write input current over here. So that is IE versus input voltage, that is VEB. Just refer the table which we have made, right? At a constant output voltage. So this will be VCB. Similarly, to find output characteristic, write output voltage over here, that is VCB. Write output current, that is IC, and write input current, that is IE, that is constant value. Similarly, if I go for our common emitter configuration, input current, that is IB, input voltage, that is VBE. At that time, output voltage will be VCE. Again, output characteristics, output voltage will be VCE, output current will be IC, and my input current will be IB. Similarly, for the last configuration, input current will be IB, input voltage will be VBC at constant output voltage, that is VCE. Again, output voltage, that is VEC, output current, that is IE, at a constant input current, that is IB. If you understand this thing, you can easily write anything about transistor characteristics. Don't mug up anything, just remember this way and you can easily write, explain different types of transistor characteristics.